You're live.
It's the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast, the place where you talk hockey and make money. How could life be better than that, Matthew Barnaby? My co-host, I'm Lawrence Presman. I mean, come on, you get to listen to this podcast, talk and hang out with me and you, and then at the end of the night, you get to make money? Please.
Yesterday was a tough one. I had the loss. I have Florida in the series, but I had Carolina in game one. But I still have Florida, so it's not that bad a beat. It kind of went down as I thought at the start. It's just Bobrovsky played great, man. He made some big saves early, capitalized on a power play, but kind of a little bit of a hedge, I guess. I think Florida is the better team. I just thought on one day's rest, Carolina can fly. They showed that early, but listen, it's the playoffs. You need great goaltending, and Freddie Anderson has been known to have a few leaks here and there.
Yeah.
Great goal by Verhaeghe on the first one, but Florida took over that game, deserved the win, and we move on.
Yeah, and Matthew, speaking of Verhaeghe, and I could be wrong here, but he's got some kind of record going on or something. I think he's the number one active goal scorer in the playoffs, or he's got the most amount of game winners in the playoffs. Like this Verhaeghe, which is a name that I have spelled incorrectly every attempt at it. That man finds another gear when playoffs come. Phenomenal hockey player.
He's sneaky.
Yeah.
You know, when you think of Florida, everyone will go to Kachuk and Barkov and Bennett and Reinhardt, but Verhaeghe is one of those sneaky guys. You get him in front of the net, you get him on the puck, and he finds a way. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not the most physical guy in the world. He's not the biggest guy in the world. But in big moments, and I can't remember who it was who said this at one of the events I was with, played with him, and just said in the big moments he comes up at the biggest times, and certainly proving that in the playoffs from last year. Was had a little bit of a down year this year during the regular season, but come playoff time, man, he's been good. And that was a goal scorer's goal, the one he scored on the power play to start that game off yesterday.
Guys, if you like what you're hearing, take a second out of your day, and I mean literally a second, and hit that like button. Take a minute and write a review, make a comment. I read them all, and I'm very appreciative of that. This show, we're going to take apart tonight's game. We got Edmonton on the road. They're playing Dallas, and we're also going to look at tomorrow's game, game 2 in the Florida-Carolina series. Matthew, let's start with tonight's hockey game, and nothing really has changed. Dallas is minus 130. The total in this game is 6. I think Dallas is the play here, Matthew. I lean on Edmonton on the series, not enough to make a bet. I think it's going to be very close. But I feel like Dallas is the right play in game 1 of the series. I don't have any reasons why, though. I have no stats, no data to back up my thought. It's just a gut feel. What do you think is going to happen in this game tonight?
Well, yeah, these are different teams that have met in the past after the trade deadline. Dallas won 2 out of 3 games this year against the Edmonton Oilers. The 2 best players in the series are with the Edmonton Oilers in Draisaitl and McDavid. This is a better team. Ekholm skating again. Does he play tonight? Probably not, but he'll be a great addition at some point
huge.
in this series. But they've done a great job without him defending. The clear-cut difference in this series is Jake Ottinger is better than Skinner, and that's the glaring difference. And Skinner's had some great games in the playoffs, and he's had some putrid games in the playoffs. You look at this Dallas Stars team, they're deep, they're fast, and they're physical. Edmonton's very quick, and what really surprised me about Edmonton is they kind of changed the way that they have played a little bit and been much more physical and much more attacking and better defending. I think Dallas is the best team left. I think they win game 1. I think minus 30 is minus 130 is a fair number, being at home, being probably the better team. I think it's going to be a close series. I have Dallas in the series, but this isn't going to be a 4 or 5 game series. This is going to be a 6 7-game series. And I think when you look at the numbers, if Dallas wins tonight and Dallas wins in game 2, Edmonton's going to be the favorite when they go home in game 3. That's getting ahead of ourselves, but I'm all over Dallas in this one. And I like the over. And we talked about this the other day. You like the over 6. I laid a little bit more juice. I went to 5.5 and laid the minus 140
Yeah.
for that. Just to kind of protect myself. And you're protected your way as a push. I protect mine as I think there will be at least 6 goals. I just made a little bit bigger bet. Instead of 1 unit, I went to 3 units to kind of cover some of that juice.
Matthew Barnaby, Lawrence Presman. Matthew, you're going to Calgary this weekend. It's another Alzheimer's charity event. Is that what's going on?
It is. We'll raise another 1.2, 1.3 million. And I love this time zone because it really works out for our 11 o'clock show, because 11 is only 9 o'clock there. So we don't have a lunch until 11. So 9 to 10, 9 to 9:45, we'll have a couple of guests, former NHLers on with me, and we'll break apart the games.
You're for sure going to see Lanny. Lanny's got to show up to those things.
I didn't see him on the list, but he's always there.
I got to tell you, Matthew, I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of NHL players in my life. I put Lanny McDonald as the single nicest human being, forget hockey player. From a celebrity perspective, I don't think Gordon Ramsay, believe it or not. I know he's got that horrible demeanor on TV. Gordon Ramsay and Lanny McDonald might be the 2 most sincerely nice celebrity human beings I've ever met in my life.
I saw Gordon Ramsay at his place in Las Vegas at the Caesars Hotel, but I didn't say hi or anything. So I haven't met him, but I have saw him. Lanny McDonald, I can back that up.
Yeah.
It's just class, funny, great stories. Just an awesome human being.
Yeah. That is for sure. But yeah, Gordon Ramsay was so incredible. I met him with my 2 daughters. They were probably 9 and 11 or 10 and 12 at the time. And he was so engaging. I walk up to him. I said, "Hey, can my kids take a picture with you?" And he was like, "Maddie, how are you? What do you like? What do you eat? What is
awesome.
Your favorite food?" I mean, I met, you meet some of these basketball players. Carmelo was wonderful, but a bunch of these guys, and they just had nothing to, they just move on, the hell on.
Yeah. I've had the same interaction.
Anyway, you watch Netflix and stuff?
I am a professional Netflix watcher, so I can promise you can't name a show that I haven't seen.
Is that a challenge?
Well, unless it's a stupid show.
Oh, yes, Dan, you get to define stupid shows. So ultimately, any show I say that you haven't seen, you'll just call stupid. But here is a
show you like.
Here is a well said. Here is a show that you haven't watched because it just came out and it was unbelievable. The Hunt for Osama bin Laden.
I have not seen it, but I definitely will. That intrigues me. Yes,
it's unbelievable. It is so freaking well done and well packaged, and they just released, and I don't know if you watch all of the sport documentaries that they do, like the Formula One.
I watch most. Yeah,
my favorite one of all was the first season of the Tour de France one, only because it really taught me about that race and about cycling and how hard, how dangerous, just how incredible those cyclers are. But they just released one on the Kentucky Derby. It's called Race for the Crown.
I saw that. Yeah,
so good, so good.
I'm a Suits fan, so that just puts you where I am.
Oh God! I thought the first 3 seasons of Suits was as good as it
Suits
gets.
is the best, I think. Peaky Blinders. There's so many. And listen, my favorite show of all time, just TV show, is Law and Order. There's nothing even close.
Yeah. So my favorite show of all time is Banshee. It's 4 seasons long. It's with Anthony Starr from The Boys. He plays Homelander. That's my favorite show of all time, bar none.
We should get back to betting, though, shouldn't we?
No.
I've never heard of Banshee, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, dude. Now, how lucky are you? You get to go through that. It's on Crave. Okay, so we've spoken about the Oilers and the Stars. Let's move our attention to tomorrow night's hockey game. And well, you got Florida up 1-0, and they find themselves as a very small dog at plus 110. Carolina's minus 130, and the total is 5.5. And Matt, I'll tell you right now, we'll have them both on, Dan. We've got Carmine and Andrew waiting in the wings, and why not? We'll have them both on. They'll both give out props. Let's get into it. I think that the game tomorrow night is going to be an under 5.5. I feel like we're going to have a low scoring game. Look, Bobrovsky is playing lights out hockey. Lights out. That's 5 straight games in a row where he's almost unbeatable. His positioning is exceptional. His rebound control, second to none. I think Carolina's going to struggle to put more than 2 up all the way through the series. I would not be surprised to see a 2-1, 3-2, 3-1 game. I like under the total of 5.5. Where you go tomorrow night?
I love it. I'm going to go back with Carolina. I think that's the line we're going to see a lot all series long. This is a massive one. You can't go back to Florida down 2-0. I like the under as well. If Carolina is going to score goals on Bobrovsky, the way he's seeing the puck, his lateral movement is awesome. You talked about his rebound control. Listen, they got to get more traffic because they had a lot of chances. They had a ton of chances. They looked a little rusty in the first 10 minutes. Just connecting on passes that normally you would make on 3-on-2s with a slight back checker that I thought they messed up. But I love the under as well. I think this is going to be a low scoring series. Hopefully Freddie Anderson plays a little well. I'll take 2-1 Carolina, 3-1 Carolina. I like the under as well.
There we go. Matthew, we got Andrew McInnis and Carmine Bianco with us. Both of them you can find on Puck Time, 11 a.m. Eastern. That show is live. It is loved. We'll pick one. Who you want to go? Oh, Andrew McInnis.
There
first.
we go. There we go.
Yeah. So there we go. The man with the shiny hair. Not for long. He's just young. How are you, bro?
Doing well. Enjoying these games. Kind of disappointed. I missed the first round, guys, when it was like 4 games a night. It's kind of sad now, just one game, but still enjoying things.
Yeah, I missed the second round. So did the Leafs. Boom. Okay. Andrews.
Nobody saw that coming, though. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No one saw that coming.
No. Andrew McInnis joining us, guys. Andrew, some prop bets. I mean, listen, we got 2 games we're talking about. You can give us sides, totals, props. The microphone is yours, brother.
Well, I think at the start of a series, you can look at recent trends. So how a certain player has been doing throughout the postseason, or you can take the route of just looking at, in general, how a certain player played against said team. And, I like looking at that, especially in game 1 of a series. So, guys, a big player worth targeting, whether you want to sprinkle for anytime goal score, whether you want to look at points, or just overall shots on goal, Zach Hyman. In 7 straight games against the Dallas Stars, Zach Hyman has gone over 2.5 shots on goal. And the best part about this is you're getting a plus 105 price tag on this number. I love that. I mean, there's so many different ways you can attack props. You can look at an opponent's weakness. You can look at a player's recent trends, or you can look at just in general the head-to-head matchups. I really like doing that because to me, that's the best way of going about it. That's the best way of figuring out, who in general does better against certain teams. You see it across all sports, and that's something really worth looking at. The next one I'd look at is Wyatt Johnston. I mean, a great player, young player for the Dallas Stars. I think that with the addition of Mikko Rantanen, he has been able to kind of just be even more of, I don't want to say background guy, but not the first option, maybe not the second option. There's so many guys there and available for the Dallas Stars that we're getting a minus 120 price on Wyatt Johnston to get a point here. He has at least 1 point in 6 of his last 8 games played against the Edmonton Oilers. He's averaging about 18 minutes per game in those games against the Edmonton Oilers. And the funny thing is here, guys, in 6 of his last 7 games throughout these playoffs, doesn't have a point. So I'm looking at this series and saying, wow, we're getting an absolute bargain here at minus 120 for a guy that's done very well against his opponent here tonight. I like him to do very well. And I'll tell you what, I kind of want to stick to these defenseman props, guys. I love the over 1.5 with guys like Wallman, some of these defensemen as well, where you can look at just the block shots. But Wallman over 1.5 shots on goal for the Edmonton Oilers has gone over that in 5 straight games versus the Dallas Stars. And here's one that might catch people off guard a little bit, but I'm going to go with Stuart Skinner over 23.5 saves. This is one that's a little bit against the grain because in 7 of his last 8, he actually went under this against Dallas. But I think it's going to have to be huge. And I think that after, 2 shutouts in a row for Edmonton, they're going to get peppered here in game 1. I think this is going to be a high shot count game for both teams. Stuart Skinner will have to make some big saves. There will be waves where the Dallas Stars are throwing shots on goal. And no matter what the score line is, I believe he'll have to make a handful of saves. So over 23.5 saves for Stuart Skinner.
There we go. Andrew McInnis, everyone. You guys can see him at 11 a.m. Eastern puck time. That show is on every single day. Matthew, what do you think of Andrew's plays?
I got one of them. I only have one prop play, and it's his last one. Over 23.5 saves for Stuart Skinner. I think they're going to get peppered today with shots. I think it's going to be not a high scoring game, but I just think they're going to trade a lot of chances. They're both really fast teams that can really take a team in waves. And when they do create waves, you see 3, 4, 5 shots at a time. So I'm with them on that one.
I will tell you this, though. The only issue ultimately is that they put up so few shots against Winnipeg, 20, 22, 24, 26, 21. 24 and 31. With that said, obviously they were playing the Winnipeg Jets, but I'm not loving that prop. I'm a medium. Carmine, Bianco, Carm, what do you got for us today, brother? How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm going to follow up on what Andrew said with the Zach Hyman ones, but I've got some goal scoring props because I think there's going to be goals in this game. These are two teams that in 3 regular season games, the Oilers generated 11 expected goals, scored 9, 9.73 from Dallas. And I know what happens in the regular season doesn't always carry over into the playoffs, but this is one where, at least for game 1, I think we're going to see some scoring. Zach Hyman is plus 230 to score a goal. He has scored a goal against Dallas Stars in 3 of his last 4 games. And then, of course, the guy who's got the lowest odds, but still plus money, Leon Draisaitl. So I'm going with a couple of Oilers tonight in this one. And Draisaitl's plus 120 anytime goal. So you can play those separately, take them as singles, plus 120 and plus 230. If one of them scores, you're going to make some money. And then if you want, throw a little pizza money on the 2 of them in a parlay, plus 230 and plus 120 pays plus 550. So not a bad one to go with as well, too. So a couple anytime goal scorers for me on the Edmonton Oilers.
There we go. Matthew, your thoughts on that?
Well, listen, Zach Hyman plays in big games, and he's really good. Listen, I love that one. Draisaitl has been, I don't think as good as he can be, even though he's the second top scorer on the team. He's putting up a lot more assists. He's not connecting from his normal spot right now. Now, that might be a sign of things to come because, listen, second, third best player in the world. Certainly they will be counting on him, and he has to be great in the series as well as McDavid to win. So you're giving me 2 of the probably top 3 players on that team to score a goal. Never a bad thing. And I agree. I think we're going to see some goals tonight. I think we're going to see lots of shots in this game. I think it's going to be a high-paced, very, very physical game. Watch the start of the game. I think this is going to be absolute controlled chaos in the first 10 minutes. We're going to see pucks being turned over, big hits, and I think we're going to see a lot of chances, like Carmine said.
Right. Matthew Barnaby, Lawrence Presman. That is the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast. 20 minutes of informative information, some television reviews, a story here or there. Awesome stuff. Matthew, 11 a.m. Eastern time on Friday. That'll be a live show. Matthew will have some guests for us. We'll let you know what they are through our Twitter. You can follow me at Prez WagerTalk. You can follow Matthew at Matt Barnaby 3636. In case all of you want to know, 36 was his number, which begs the question, why?
Because it was given to me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Pretty easy.
Fair enough. There you go. Kick ass, everybody, and make sure you do not bet like an idiot. See you on Friday.